Hey friends, it's Stacy here with Stacy Makes. Welcome to this channel if you are new here, and welcome back if you are not new. I am so happy that you are here. So on this channel, if you are new, we just talk about crochet stuff, markets, patterns, yarn, all of that fun stuff. And today is just going to be a what I made this week and talk about a couple new patterns that I tried. I had a show last weekend, so I have 2 weeks off. So I had this week off, and then I have this coming week kind of off, which we'll talk about later, my market schedule. And so I should have gotten a lot done. Sadly, I'm going to spoiler alert that I did my best at stuff going on. So we're going to talk about one of my other things that I participate in every year, called the Paint Out here in our county, because that consumed a lot of my Sunday and my Monday this last week. And then we'll talk about some of the new patterns that I tried and everything else that I made this week, and we'll just get right into it. So this last week, my show was on Saturday. You guys saw a market recap on Sunday. What you didn't see on Sunday was that I also then had to go help set up the venue that me and Tara own, because it was being rented by our Chamber of Commerce to set up what we call the Paint Out. This is the first year that we have hosted it in our venue. So we had to set up all of the grids, the tables, and all of the stuff in there for Monday's event. I actually participate in this event, so does Tara, and this is like the one time of the year where I get out my watercolor brushes, which I'm a super amateur. I am not trained. I mess around with it. I love art because my girls love art. I am more of a acrylic window painter. When at seasonal times, me and Tara do that, and that's more of my style. But I do get out my brushes for this event just to participate and to just visit with the artist and just be a part of this really neat event that we bring to our county. So that took a lot of my Sunday was actually setting up for this event. I spent an hour and a half-ish at the venue itself, and then I spent the rest of my evening actually finishing one of the paintings that I entered into the event, which I'll go ahead and put that one up here. This is a picture of a friend of mine's house, which was just really neat. Most of the people that come to the Paint Out are plein air artists, which means that they actually paint on the spot live out in nature. For us local people who work and who aren't really professionals, they allow us to paint, kind of ahead of time. For me, this was just the day before. I didn't actually sit at this house and paint it live, but I did take a live recent picture and then painted it at my home. So I did that on Sunday evening. That's always fun for me to kind of relearn everything, because I, again, don't get out my watercolors and paint on the regular. And then on Monday, I had to go to work. And then between work and the Paint Out itself, I painted my second painting, which again, didn't do on the spot, but was a picture I actually took that day of our county jail, which is not open. It's closed. It's one of the oldest jails in the state of Illinois. And we, as in like people in our community, the Edwards County Preservation Society, is trying to save the jail and get it refurbished and get some grants to actually maybe turn it into a museum or something about our history, because our town has some really neat history. So I took a picture of a portion of this jail and I painted it. I'll put it in here. This was just a very small last minute painting that I did. And I was blown away that it actually won Best of Show. I'm sure that's because everyone kind of has a heart for this building right now. Everyone's really thinking about what we can do to preserve it and save it. And anyway, enough about that event, because you guys are not here to hear about anything probably about my crochet stuff, but just wanted to include that in case that you are interested in that. Tara also participated and did a couple paintings, which she sold. And anyway, it was just really fun. But that took all of my Sunday and pretty much all of my Monday as far as crochet time. I didn't have any. So Tuesday or Monday, while I was doing the paint out stuff, I got a message from a local little shop that actually I set up at some of their markets that they do. And they wanted to know if I had any or could make any pumpkins for their store. Sell them wholesale or on consignment. Their preference was wholesale. I had a bag full of pumpkins, probably, I don't know, 12, 15 pumpkins left from my last market, but she wanted sets of kind of like small, medium, and large pumpkins. So if you saw my reel on Instagram, which I'm active every day pretty much over there, I went to my niece's volleyball games on Tuesday night. It was a super early game. My husband drove, so I got to crochet in the car on the way over. And then the first game, I mean, there was warm-ups, and then there was a short 6th grade game, which I watched, and my niece was in that one. And then there was more warm-ups in a 7th grade game, which I didn't have anyone playing in. And there was warm-ups then for the 8th grade game, which was my other niece's game, and I watched that game. But in there, I took my yarn bag full of pumpkin yarn, and I made 7 pumpkin bodies between the drive and my sit there, which was, I didn't know if I was going to have time to make pumpkins for this lady, but I told her I would do my best and see what I could do. So I made all of those Tuesday night. And so Wednesday night I spent finishing all of those pumpkins and putting them together into sets and sending her pictures and stuff like that. So really I had some bits and pieces of Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, and a little bit of yesterday because I was also gone most of the day yesterday. So I don't have the pumpkins to show you because I made 2 sets, which I sold to her for $30 a set. And so that was $60. And then I sent my bag full of pumpkins that I already had pre-made in case she wanted to pick out more sets or just individual pumpkins to put in her store. And I told her what my price was, which was, I marked them $2 off. They were already all tagged for market. I marked them $2 off what they were tagged. She bought all the sets, plus she bought everything but 6 pumpkins that I had on hand, which was $184. So that was kind of a nice little surprise for this last week. And it was time well spent, obviously. It was a guaranteed sale, so that's another reason why I took it on, because I knew that when I made them and I invested the time in them, they were going to turn around and sell a little bit less than they normally do. But actually it was really quick to whip these up because I was doing them, and I would have just been sitting there doing nothing. So it really was it worked out great for me. So I will put a picture of all the pumpkins that I made, and then I have one. I made 6, which was 2 sets, and then I made this one small one, which I didn't send with her because I didn't have enough yarn to finish the tie, and I didn't have it tagged. So I sent these, and then I kept this one back, and then I only have 5 left, which this coming Saturday on the 5th is actually the market at her venue outside, and it's like their fall market underneath their little pavilion. So I don't have to take a tent and everything, but it is outside. And I'm not going to take pumpkins because she's going to be selling my pumpkins inside. So we kind of just had a mutual agreement that I wouldn't sell them there. But anyway, so I spent a big portion of my week making all of those pumpkins, and that was $70 worth of inventory. That 60 of it already sold besides this little pumpkin. So for the rest of the week, I ended up making myself a list. Sorry, I'm really talking with my hands today. I'll try to put them down and maybe not talk with my hands as much. I'll turn that just a little bit. Sorry, my cabinets are like so unorganized and busting at the seams. I was having a hard time when I was getting a free moment, really deciding what I needed to spend my time on. I walk away from a market with kind of an idea of maybe what I need to remake or what I want to focus on, but then life happens and videos happen and appointments happen and things, and when I go to actually sit down, it's like I have 6,000 ideas and I don't know where to start, and I end up wasting a lot of time. So what I ended up doing was I went back and looked at the stuff that I sold. I looked at some of my market setup pictures just to kind of spark my memory of what I had, and maybe some of the stuff that did sell that was like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed making that, because I make such a huge variety of things that I needed my memory jogged. So I went back and I did that. Looked at the last couple markets pictures and the list of what I sold. And then I made myself a list of when I don't know what to do, but I know that I need to make the most out of my time. Here's the 10 things that I wanted to focus on. And so out of that came pretty much all the stuff that I made this week. So let me show you first the 2 new things that I did that were from new patterns. Both are free patterns on Instagram, and as always, I'll try to link everything down in the description below for you. The first one I did was this Stegosaurus. So this is Stewie, the Stegosaurus, and this is by Mel's Crocheted Shop, or Crocheted Creations. Sorry, Mel's Crocheted Creations. She has a couple free patterns on her Instagram. I think this one might be new for her. But this is Premier Basic Chenille. I just worked this up with a 6mm hook. Sometimes I use 6.5. Sometimes I use 6. I'm not sure which one. But it's all no-sew. You work it from the head to the tail. And then you surface crochet these spikes on the back. So super quick and easy pattern. I'm going to sell this, I think, for 10. I have some standing chubby dinos that are more like a T-Rex kind of dinosaur. And I thought these might be nice to put in that same bin, so they have a couple dinosaur options. So this is Stewie the Stegosaurus. I had no issues with this pattern. I actually didn't have to move the bobbles or anything on the bottom. I don't think I adjusted my bobbles at all in this pattern, which is kind of rare for me. I usually would have to adjust them because I yarn over. So I feel like my seams stray to the side a lot more than people who yarn under. But I don't know if she does yarn over as well, and that's why, or if I just was keeping it a little tighter or what. But this was super easy. I mean, it was less than half an hour for me. It might have been right at half an hour because it was the first time I made it too. But this is Stewie the Stegosaurus, free Instagram pattern by Mel's Crocheted Creations. It's the only one I made, but I would like to kind of, we'll see how it does. I may make more of these. Okay, so that's the first new pattern that I did. The second one was, I had a request at the last market, a couple markets ago actually, for a rat. And I have had rat patterns saved and haven't made any yet. But I thought it's such a shame that I haven't made any yet. So I found this pattern. It's by Abby's Crochet Corner 23. Again, I'll link everything down in the description below for you. But it's just a small little rat. I didn't want to make anything too big. Really just 2 colors. You can make him white or gray or whatever color that you want. I obviously used gray and a light pink. This is Sweet Snuggles Light. Again, I didn't have to move any of my bobbles. The hardest part was that there's only 1 stitch in between these bobbles, so that they're super close together, but they almost have to be because it's such a small rat. I did change one thing, and that is she has you start with the magic ring being pink. And I have a possum pattern that also does that. And I just don't love it. So I just made the whole thing gray outside of the ears and the bobbles feet. I changed to pink. And then I came back and I just embroidered the nose. I actually like this look a little bit better. But outside of that, I followed her pattern to a T. I think I put my eyes maybe 1 more row down. I think she had them all the way back to this row right in front of the ear. And I moved them a little bit. But outside of that, this is a really fun, easy, free pattern on Instagram. That I just searched and found, and it's super cute. I think I'm going to also price this one at 10, with the Stegosaurus being also 10. So thank you, Abby's Crochet Corner, or yes, Corner, for that pattern. Okay, so my next thing that I worked on was I wanted to find a little mini chicken pattern that I could make either into keychains or put in my $5 or $8 bin. I actually didn't, I looked a little bit, but I'm like, I can just draft these. I know that they wouldn't be that hard to do. So these are my little mini chickens. One is a little taller than the other. I actually like the shorter one better. This is the first one I made, and then I made this one, and I'm like, I think I like this one better. It's super easy, guys. It's just 8 single crochets and a magic ring, increase around, and then I did 3 single crochets and increases, and then the back loops only. I did a couple rows of single crochet, and then I did a row where I decreased a few, and then, I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking. But I did make these. They're super fast, and then I just chained. I slip stitched, and then I chained like 3 or 4, slip stitched, and then chained one less and did the second one in the comb. I did a little bit more in this one. And obviously I put safety eyes and I added the little beaks on there. And I think I'm going to put these in my $5 bin, see how they do. I probably could put them in the $8 bin because of their size, but they're really fast. And that was kind of the point. So I made these 2 chickens, $5 a piece times 2, still just $10. So, okay. And then I moved on to my Millie the Monkey pattern, which I have a whole tag along series, which these came out in the spring, long before I think my YouTube channel I mean, it's grown now. So some of my viewers who watch my things all the time may not even know this, but I do have these. They're called tag-alongs. They're just kind of, this is the monkey version of the tag-along. This is Posh yarn. I have a monkey, a bee, a mouse, and a frog. And the frog is probably my favorite one, Finn the frog, and he was the first one that I did. But they're just super easy. They're designed to be kind of flat on the bottom, so they sit and the legs just kind of come out the front. And they're also designed to have, they have these loops in the arms and the legs. There's like a hole there at the very end because of the way that you do the arms and the legs. And you could hang them off of like a tumbler straw, or you could clip them to a carabiner or something like that. But they're just kind of pocket sized, fun sized. And I had sold all of the Millie the monkeys that I had made from the spring. And I only have a couple fins left, a couple mouse, and like 1 bee left, I think. And so I just thought I just needed to get my Posh back out and make some more of the Millie the monkeys. So I sell these for $10, and with no keychains or anything like that. They're just $10 by themselves. So this is Millie the monkey, and it's $10. And then I wanted to make some more jumping spiders. I sold a lot of the last ones that I have. I can't remember exactly how many I ended up selling. I don't have that sheet in front of me, I don't think. But I want to say that I ended up with only 3 left, I think. And at one point I had 11. So, and I think I made some in between. So I might have had even more than 11. And I have 3 or 4 left, I think. So I sold a lot of the bright ones, actually. And I think what I had left was mostly the darker ones. So I made a blue and a green one. This is Premier Basic Chenille. And on these, I've not been changing out the color for the fangs. The pattern actually calls for that. And then I made one in this. This is Cinder, the new mystical color. And I did change the color for the fangs for this one. And I also started in this blue just to kind of give it a little bit of a more of a personality. So the butt on this one is blue, and then it goes to the cinder color. So I made 3 jumping spiders. This pattern is by Handmade by Nicole on Etsy. It's a paid pattern. It's like a couple dollars. I mean, it's not very much at all. And you do have to sew the bum onto the body, but I can still make these in 20 minutes. They're super fast. And I really love them. I think they're going to sell year round, even when it's not spooky season or Halloween season where people are buying, things. I think just jumping spiders in general could be a year round thing. So I made 3 of those. I sell them for $10 a piece. So that's $30 in spiders. And then the last but not least, I had got, if you watch my videos, you know that a couple months ago, I got on a kick where I made several Brontosauruses by Savagely Stitched. And I talked so much about, I made them in Burnett, and I talked so much about how it was a great pattern to use your variegated yarns on because it's all one piece, and it just like, it's super fast for the size that it comes out, in my opinion. And I thought it just really would make a good use out of your variegated yarns. I had a hard time selling these Brontosauruses. Well, I didn't sell any the first show that they went to. And now I've sold 2 of them, so I only have 2 left. And I think that these Brontosauruses up on the shelf, if you saw our shelf where Tara puts her loaf cats kind of across, they just really catch people's eye as they're walking by. It's like that's eye level for them. And their little loaf cats with their tails. We've been putting the Brontosauruses up there with the cats, which I think is cute. But if we could pyramid the cats more and then put more of the Brontosauruses next to it and have a bigger group of them, I really think that they'll get seen a little bit more and get really the recognition that they deserve. So I decided, and on my list of things that I told you I was going to make, I had the Brontosauruses on there, and I made 2, and that's probably all I'm going to make for now again. But so I'm going to mark that off of my list for now. But the first one that I made was this dark, was this teal one, and I gave it these fun, these are orangey kind of peach eyes. I don't know if you can see that or not, but and teal. And this is just a really, once you get the hang of this pattern, this would be easy to sit and just make several of, which is obviously what I did. But you have to make all 4 legs, and then she has a way that you obviously, you know, connect all the legs, and then you work up to here, leave in some holes, and then you make the tail out of one hole, the head out of one hole, and then there's instructions for how to close up this bottom. So, and they sit really well. I mean, they're not top heavy at all because of the way that the head really is over the body. This is one of them I made, and then this is the other one, which I made it out of mystical yarn. They are the same size. The way I was holding them made one look way bigger than the other. This is Mystical's Yarn in Canyon, which is the orangey variety, which I think also would make a great loaf cat. But I had it out and thought it would make a really great dinosaur as well. So I made these 2 Brontosauruses, and I sell these for $24 right now. And so I have 2 of those. So it's $48. Okay, that's everything that I made. Including the pumpkins, which are already sold. I made $188 worth of inventory this week, and really my goal is usually $250, at least over $200. So I fell shy of that this week, but I think I did pretty good for having a couple days or evenings where I just had 0 time to crochet. And yesterday I got up, got ready, left the house, and didn't get home until 5:30, 6 o'clock. So it's almost like I worked, I mean, it was longer than work hours. So I only had a couple hours last night to work on anything. So I think I did pretty good for my limited time this week. So as far as a market schedule goes, we have 2 local smaller markets this week. One of them is Thursday night in our town. It's called Girls Night Out. It's actually, we're setting up in our venue. We rented out little spots in our venue for people to set up. I think we have 5 or 6 people coming total to set up in the venue. So we'll probably go Wednesday night and go ahead and get our things set up. And then I've got to leave work just a little bit early Thursday to let people in to set up there as well. And then it's 5 to 8 on a Thursday night, which last year we did a couple $100 in 3 hours, and it was inside and local. It was pretty nice. And then Saturday is the market that I was telling you about at the store that bought the pumpkins under the pavilion. So it is outside, but it is under a pavilion. So we don't have to take a tent and all of those things as well to that market. So that's going to be nice. Hopefully the weather is nice. It's starting to actually feel like fall, but the last 3 days it has pretty much rained nonstop from Hurricane Helene's path coming up this way and just swirling over us for several days in a row. And it's been very rainy and gloomy. Great crochet weather if you can stay inside, but yesterday I had to run around and do errands and went homecoming dress shopping. So, but that's what I have going on this week. So Thursday night and Saturday market, I expect maybe total $300-400 between the two. Again, not a huge thing, but another $300-400 out of my inventory means that, you know, that's quite a chunk. And then we have another week off, which will be nice. So after Saturday's market on the 5th, we'll have 2 whole weeks till we have another local market, which we've never done before, which should be a little bit bigger than the other 2. And it is outside. It's our last outside market. Yay! I next year would love to find more indoor markets. I mean, I've got the tents and I've got the stuff, but just the outdoor markets just give me so much anxiety. I'd really like to find more indoor markets for next year, but anyway, so it's outdoor as well on the 19th. And then our retreats the next weekend, which we still have 1 spot left open for. If anybody's interested in that, find me on Instagram. My social links are always in the description below. It's October the 24th through the 27th, and it's in Central Kentucky. And it's like a Thursday night. We leave Sunday morning. So we have all day Friday, all day Saturday. And then we'll have, we have Thursday evening as well. I'm trying to get an early check-in too, so that maybe we can get set up even earlier. And that way the people that are driving in, if they want to drive in earlier, they can. The people that are flying in, if they land earlier than that, they're welcome to come ahead and come. But as of right now, we're not going to be able to get in until, and be set up for everyone to come until 5 o'clock on Thursday night. But that's been fun to plan. We are making safety eyes. We're making stitch markers. We're going to do some exchanges. I have some really amazing door prizes / giveaways to give away at the retreat. People have really come through. I have messaged some amazing companies who have donated some amazing things. I'm so excited to have some stuff to give away. And there's only a dozen of us, but and I thought, being such a small venue, people probably won't want to donate anything, but people really came through, and I'm so excited about that. So we do have some great things to do for that. So I think that's all I have for you guys this week. Hopefully you enjoyed just a little glimpse into what I made. Obviously, I had a busy week and didn't get to make as much as I would like to. But this week, I think, is a little bit more calm as far as, no huge things that are going to take all evening. But then but Wednesday night, we got to set up for the show, and then Thursday night, we'll be at the show. So those 2 nights, we're not going to get as much done. And then Friday night, we'll be packing up for the Saturday show. So there won't be a ton of crocheting going on this week, but next week's video should hopefully be a little bit of a recap. Depending on how Thursday night's show goes, I might do a recap of that show separately. And then do a completely different video of the second one, or I might end up just combining them. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Anyway, so thank you guys for being here and watching this video. If you have any questions, comments, anything you wanted to know, anything I didn't tell you that, I'm pretty much an open book. So feel free to comment below and ask questions or whatever. I love to talk to you guys in the comments. And if you are new here or you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe to the channel. That way you'll get notifications when I do have a new video coming up, and that way you won't miss anything in the future. I really appreciate that. So I think that's all for now. You guys, I hope you have a great week. And as always, happy crocheting, guys. We'll see ya. Bye.